Hello everybody, welcome. Hope you guys are having a good day today. I realize that the weekend's almost over for most people, but you know, we gotta do some stuff today, and I figured that a nice and relaxing TCG sorting stream might be just like a fun little thing to do. I enjoy doing these every so often. Obviously, as I get more space to put stuff, because that is kind of a personal goal, realistically. What's up, dang? Trying to like get 16 viewers on viewer Lethal Company? Hot damn. Good boy, is it going? But anyways, we're here. Certain cards today. Also, let me get some music going, because it is going to be very boring if I don't. You guys have to tell me how the music is. Also, hello Luna, how's it going? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, today I fixed the camera. I realized that I was just dumb when I set it the first time, and realized that a couple clicks of the button lets me set it up in a super convenient way. But anyways, our goal today, simply put, that means a John Megan, thank you for my ESO. Oh, fun. Okay, well, love to have you. Also, I apologize for you hearing zippers a bit, probably tonight. But anyways, so I still have piles, and I mean like 6 different stacks of cards to my right on my desk. And I'm like, this really just can't keep being a thing. Also, hold on. I know there's a... Hold on. Usually that? No, that is... Why is... Hold on. Autofocus, please. I forget how to make... There is a way to make this thing autofocus, and I always forget how to do it. Hold on. Because it's really bad right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, it fixed itself. But anyways, the goal today... So I did technically do a little bit of this off stream for this binder in particular. But basically, I'm getting these yellow binders to start putting my Keter / United Sanctuary stuff in for the Vanguard players who know. If not, clans have these little colors at the bottom, which implies the nation that they belong to. And my goal is to try and get at least like all my yellow clans in the yellow binders. The problem is I like every single yellow clan in this game to at least some extent. And what we did last time was we only got to shove 2 clans in 1 binder because there was just so much between those two, which they were some of the most supported clans in the game. And realistically, there's stuff I'd probably need from both of them, but regardless, I did put 1 clan in here just because like I wanted to see what I could do to shuffle some stuff around. So my goal is to try and get the others in here, or at least as many as I can. Because it just needs to all go together. Also, I'm trying to preserve space for future clans in general, or future support cards, because I know there's going to be some more in general. So in the meantime, I think my next goal... Yeah, Sanctuary is very good, however I'm doing more Angel Feathers. I mean, it's funny because I do actually have, like, not a lot, but some Angel Feather stuff, and there's actually like, an okay Angel Feather deck. Which, I mean, I need to pick up a lot of the pieces for it, but regardless, my goal today is going to be to slap a bunch of, like, my other United Sanctuary stuff in here. Also, by the way, Luna, I don't know if, because I know you don't really pay as much attention to the game, but they revealed a new boss unit from the anime that's very much like Angel Feather aesthetic. So I figure you might just like want to look into that. If you remind me, I'll DM it to you in Discord. But it is like very much Angel Feather aesthetic, and the new like support for her is like all like angels and stuff. But anyways, the goal today is because I also have just to show you guys. Sounds good. Yeah, I have like a bunch of other stuff in here too that needs to go in here. Because ideally, I want to start color coordinating these to an extent. So like all my yellow clans are in yellow binders. That tealish one is gonna have all the blue clans and like the one green clan I play because I don't like two of the green clans. I have a black binder as well that I want to shove like a bunch of my purple clans in there because I don't want a purple binder and I really don't want to buy a purple binder. But anyways, so the goal today is to get as much of like yellow stuff in here as I possibly can. Which is the green clan Neo Nectar? Yes, I do like Neo Nectar. I'm not a bug person and I don't really like Great Nature. I like Great Nature in V Premium, however I hate that format and I refuse to buy into it. Actually, I need to get this out of the way because I need to get all of my Oracle Think Tank stuff out of here. And maybe the Angel Feather stuff? Maybe the Angel Feather stuff. Maybe I'll try and get that out of here too. But I'll show you the Angel. Also for context, in case people haven't seen one of these streams before, usually in my binders I like to do something of a cover page. So, in this case, it's just like a bunch of... let me hide chat real quick. Just to show you guys. Yeah, like, see, like, I like to do cover pages. Like, I don't hardcore play Digimon TCG, but I think these arts are just really nice, and, like, these other four are just cards I like. Oh, yes, the aesthetically pleasing Digimon cover page, yeah, exactly. That's how it is, like, a lot of my cover pages. I like just making, like, stuff. That's all my DI stuff. Where is my... Okay, here's my OTT. So yeah, the goal is going to be to slap everything for OTT into one binder along with my Genesis stuff. Ideally... So I was thinking of like putting my Gold Paladin stuff in there too. And that's originally what I wanted to do, but I think because like I know what I need for OTT and I have not made a Gold Paladin shopping list. The collection that we'll get reminded again that he's involved. Dude, also, first off, hello, Dragon, how's it going? But yeah, like, it's a shame that these are not foil, because this is such a gorgeous art. I love this art of MLK. But it's just criminal that it comes in a common. Yeah, the goal today... Like, I still need to make my Gold Paladin shopping list, because that's going to be, like, the awkward thing, because, like, I wanted to slap golds in today, but then I'm just like, I don't know what else I need for this clan, because I have not made my shopping list, so I'm sort of in that weird spot where it's like, I kind of want to build it, but I equally, like, don't know what I need. Doing alright after working 12 hours yesterday? Oh, I know that feeling so well. Like, I worked... 2 12-hour shifts, like 2 days in a... I worked a 12-hour shift 2 days in a row, and then I had like a 4-hour interview with the Saturday, like yesterday, and I was like, please just give me a day. I technically missed like work deadlines for my gallery stuff, and I'm like, I apologize, but I am just physically incapable right now. I did at least make my OTT shopping. Well, actually, I need to remember that I needed to save space for the grade 1 promo, whatever OTT gets there. So I just remember that. Yeah, I always like doing these kind of streams. It's like fun just to like. Char found 3 Perseus at locals that didn't dodge battle prizes. Is that card bought out? I remember we talked about that like the other day in the Added Cut Discord, but hold on. Oh, I mean, it is basically just going... Like, 15 isn't awful, because that's roughly... I remember what I got mine for forever ago, but it is basically off the market. Like, there are 2 copies right now on TCG Player. Unless you want $90 SPs, which even I'm not about. Also, speaking of expensive cardboard... IMR Lozenge. I think this is like actually the only IMR I own. Which I remember I got this in a very sad story. Don't tell me those $9 SP. You know how much how I am with that clan. No, trust me, I understand. That's totally me with like Nova Grappler, to an extent Royal Paladin. Like note that these are all SP. These are all SP for context. Original SP MLBs and an SP Markle. Like, you know, I roll that way. But anyways, like, I don't know if I ever told the story behind this Lozenge Magus, because to be fair, I guess I've never shown it on stream. So this was, I forget the set this came out in, but it was the set that this card, like, specifically came out in. I bought a Gold Paladin case split for my friend, and he hosed me on it. Like, I didn't get, like, they pulled a Corrin marker, which is supposed to be part of the Gold Paladin case split. He did not give it to me, even though I paid for it as part of my split. So I was just like, what the fuck? And he was just like, I can give you an IMR Garmor, or not an IMR, what was that? The original, like, art rarity. Like, where it's, like, the original art of, like, Great Silver Wolf Garmor, but, like, it's, like, SP. Like, that version of it. He was willing to give me that, and I was just like, dude, fuck you, you're missing the point of this right now. And then another friend of mine who, like, I told the story to was just like, that's so shitty, what the fuck, why did your friend do that to you? So they just gave me this IMR Lozenge Magus, like, to make up for it. I don't think it's accurate, but I can't think of that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But I was, like, so upset at that point, and so my friend just, like, I know it's not the same, but have this Lozenge Magus. So I've just held on to it ever since. Because I really do appreciate it. So this is, like, honestly, even though it's not, like, the prettiest card, I still think it's a very pretty card. Like, I love the art on this card. But I do appreciate it, like, just for the sentimental value of it. So, like, whenever I play OTT and, like, I don't have to use a specific starter, I am just going to use that Lozenge Magus. The unfortunate part is you technically have to use a specific starter for OTT nowadays, but whenever I don't have to, I will use it. OR, that's what it was. Yeah, Origin Rare, or Original Rare, whatever that's called. Yeah, because I know these are IMRs, like, where it's, like, the character, like, writing the card. But yeah. After that whole ordeal with my friend, like, he stopped doing case splits for good reason. Because I kind of just, like, ratted him out to, like, everybody. Because, like, nah, you're not getting away with this one, buddy. I still talk to him, though, like, we did make up for it in the end, but I was still just, like, upset. Also, because, like, it's actually really funny, too, about what happened with... Actually, you know, hold on, let me grab the box real quick and share another story, I guess, with the card, even though it's, like, I don't use... Well, I mean, I still quote-unquote use it, but I don't actively use it. Oh, God, my Nova stuff is, trying to come out of its sleeves. That is not working. That usually works. I apologize if you heard that, chat. Where is it? Yeah, this. Okay. So, follow-up story. Not for being a skinny bitch. Yeah, exactly. But follow-up story, because this is the exact same marker, by the way, so you're wondering how did I end up getting it regardless. So what happened was, at regionals that same year, another friend of mine from my locals bought it off the friend who sold me the split because he wanted it. And at the time when he did play the game, like, he was just dumping money into this game like mad for everything nice. Like, let me just give you an example. He was a Bermuda player, and I think his entire deck, not even exaggerating, his entire deck was max rarity. Like, he had 2 SP tier was. And right now, let me see what the lowest listing of it is on TCG Player. Okay, so right now, SP Chocho popular favorite tier, the Stride tier for context, is like 185 roughly, right? Or excuse me, there's one listing for 195 and one listing for 250. There's not so much. So, and he had 2 of those, but he paid like the 250 roughly, and that was just 2 cards and stuff. Like, he had like 4 SP Twa, SP Riviers, like literally the entire deck max rate. Like if I show you guys some of my Bermuda stuff, I actually will try and show that on stream, because some of my SP Bermuda stuff came from him, including this marker. But regardless, he realized during that event he didn't like any Excel deck in the game. So he was like, do you want to buy the marker off me? And I was like, how much do you want for the marker? Just keep in mind, at the time, this marker was like 70, 80, somewhere in that price range. He sold it to me for 30. Like, he knew he could have gotten it, but he was like, yeah, just have it. Because he just didn't want it. And I was like, you know what? Faith is restored. So that's the only reason I have this marker. But he was, like, I can also tell you right now, that dude was like, almost, like, if you're a 14 player and you know how bad Astinian is with money, he reminds me of Astinian in regards like that. Like, he bought NLK off me when it got hit on the bans, because I sold them for like relatively cheap. And then he immediately flipped it to the other friend who sold me the Gold Paladin Caselet for less than what I sold it to him for. Like, I sold it for like, I think like at the time it was still roughly like 140-ish when I sold him all my original NLK stuff, because I used to own the deck back when it was tier 0. And then he sold it for like 90. Like, I was just like, how are you this terrible with money? Like, it was genuinely impressive to me. Not a certain type of that was just some like common Bermuda main L behavior. I don't know. I can believe it. Also, speaking of L behavior, I still hate these Ichikishmas, because these are cards that I got before, like the day before their initial reprint announcement. So I paid significantly like over, like, at the time it was like a good deal, because it was like, alright, like these were like roughly, I got like the playset for 40, but now you can buy Ichikishmas for like significantly less. Like, you can buy them for like dollars. They are original print though, which I guess is cool, but Stillwater Ichi. Listen, I like OTT. I do admit Ichi is a gross card, but you know. Also, I will go over the gold stuff later, but I want to get the OTT stuff in the binder first and see if I have space for gold after. Because I have significantly like less gold paladin stuff. Also, I guess since Dragon's in chat, you might appreciate these. I have 4 of these. Actually, let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me actually swap to my OBS. There we go. Yeah. SP Prominence Cores. As soon as Holy Shine... As soon as like Holy Shine was announced, I remember just buying these. Core, I remember you telling me... Yeah, I was so happy when I found like SP cheap cores. It was like, oh man, golds are coming back, baby, let's go. They didn't do anything. Man, like, I have like some cool gold stuff, like Stamped Garen, stamped Dindrains. Like, I have like some Eagle Paladin stuff, but I don't play this clan. Like, that's basically the end of like all my gold stuff. But I love this clan. I'd say realistically, like, as a clan, it's probably my favorite of the Paladins, because like I can vibe with almost any like gold Paladin build. Royals and Shadows, I'm like, nah, I only want to play like very specific builds. Like, if it's Shadows, I really just want to play Luard. And if it's like Royals, I just want to play MLB. Ah, fuck you. Thankfully, I have... Okay. So, and then from the stack over here... Which, oh yeah, I have more cards over on the side. Like, I have all this stuff that needs to go in as well, on top of all the other OTT bits you just saw. So this is going to be a challenge for me to try and make all this fit. I think like it will, but probably at some point I need to get a separate binder just for like the G-Zone. Or just G-Zone cards in general. I feel cards over. Dude, I have 6 stacks of cards next to me. Like 6 different piles. And only half of them are organized. Also, I don't have like a cover page for this binder because this binder I got very recently. I also need to save space for everything that needs to go into this binder. Alright, because I also didn't show these when I like flipped through the Genesis stuff, because I have some pretty Genesis cards. Both my Vanderganders are SP, but I only have one SP Minerva. With shoutouts to my friend Zach, not a Zach that I think anybody on stream would know. It's a friend from my local area, but he gave this to me for my birthday. Which, granted, at the time, this card was like $25. Like, this card was super cheap, but I still love it. It's still one of my favorite cards in my entire collection. Yeah, best SP of Best Genesis Girl. I actually own like 5 Minervas. Okay, so I do have a list of cards off to the side that I need to remember to save space for whenever I like actually get around to buying everything. So I guess technically I probably should start with some of that, and then just like save the Battle Sister stuff for later. Because I need to get like, I want to get 4 V Susanoo and 4 Amaterasu. So that will take up those slots. Actually, what else is in here? It's just like, okay, so it's mostly great. Okay, so there's like nothing grade 3 wise on the grade binder. I should set that stack to the side. Fromages. God, I remember buying these fromages like right as like they announced, like, hey guys, we're making fromage reverse, and I was like, oh damn, I should buy fromages now. I'm a little worried about this card getting bought out. And then Popo, so 3 spots for Popo. If I have a random one of, I can slap it there. Well, I have at least one of. That's cool. Okay, so do I put Battle Sister stuff first, or do I put? I guess Battle Sister stuff can kind of go together. You know, Battle Sister stuff indirectly is generic enough, so I think I'm fine just to put the Battle Sister stuff in here and then like trickle down from there. I think that's the play. Okay. I need to get sleeves for these Administrative Angels. I will have to remember that. This Bats is best with plan. I love this plan. It's actually really funny. So in my local area, one of my former coworkers and one of like the guys who like definitely owns part of my locals, but he's mostly just like front desk. He loved Battle Sister. Like Battle Sister was just like he vibed with Battle Sister the entire time that deck's been out. And so eventually some of us just started memeing with him to where we would just show up one day with Battle Sister decks and just challenge him to the mirror. And I think he lost like every time. Like we just wanted to bully him. But no, Battle Sister is fun. I do actually like guns with guns. I kind of hope they make the Vine Sister like its own actual like ride line instead of like just being like generic support, which I think would cause some price problems, but well, you kind of have them with Direful Ball anyway, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. Alright, this is Visas, no, this is Monorosu, this is Bubba. Okay, we're good. Thought I already messed up somehow. I was really like, dang, I'm impressive. I've stared at Battle Sister. Like maybe one day I'll just like build this for fun. I actually do have a Vanguard. Well, definitely not even just like Vanguard. Like, just like a TCG concept that I want to do on stream at some point. I am working on trying to get some guests for it. I do have the very first special guest lined up, which I'll tell you guys this much. Eventually, and I'm saying the keyword eventually, we are gonna have Commander Jaime on stream. For people who do know him, if you don't, pretty well known name in the community, primarily the Midwest Vanguard community, but cool dude. We're gonna be doing some gameplay stuff with him. I have like a really neat concept for a series that I want to do, but it's admittedly a very expensive series because like I technically need to own a lot, and I need to like make sure that my guests also own enough to participate. But it's a cool idea. There's gameplay stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be like a really like high edited like gameplay like series kind of thing. And technically I will also say, if you're like, well, I don't play like Vanguard, like I play like Yu-Gi-Oh or stuff like that, this technically will apply to you too, because I don't want to do this exclusively for Vanguard. I want to do this for like multiple TCGs, even Digimon, which I don't play as much, but I need to own a third Digimon deck at minimum for it to work. I will be right back. I actually need to go grab like 4 sleeves. Actually, no, I need to re-sleeve figure it anyway, so I'm just gonna grab sleeves from that. I'll grab some of my spare sleeves. Do I have 4? I have 2 in here. Great. Oh no, maybe I'll... Maybe Gales. It's like a cool... Actually, you know, I guess I can just tell you. I don't know why I'm being so secret about it. Have you guys heard of Conquest format? It's basically me like TCG Conquest format. Also, hello, Chief. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I really don't... Well, I got 2 sleeves. Heard of it, don't know the specifics. So basically, like, there's a few different ways to do it, but TLDR is that it's a multi-deck format, where basically you enter with like X amount of decks. So like, I'll do it like the like the typical Shadowverse example, because I think Shadowverse is like a really big pioneer of it, if I remember right, where it's like you bring 4 decks, and then you and your opponent each strike 1 deck from each other. And then the deck that you strike can't be played for the entirety of the match, but you have to win with every other deck once in order to win the match. So like if I brought like Royals, Novas, Bermuda, Pale Moon, like you strike like Pale Moon for example, I then have to win at least 1 game with Royals, Novas, and Bermuda. So like it forces you like to be like competent with like multi-deck. But I want to do like across like multiple TCGs. Like if I do it for Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm probably gonna do either Edison or just like Master Duel. Probably Master Duel just because like it's very easy to do it. It's a lot more common of a format for like virtual TCGs compared to like physical. Because obviously, like if you do it with physical TCGs, it's very expensive. And when I say very expensive, I mean very expensive. Also, why am I? Oh wait, no, never mind. That's a grade 1. I'm doing this right. Okay. Yep, no, that sounds fun. Yeah, like, it's a really sick format. I know in Japan for a while they were doing 2-deck format for Vanguard, for V. Which is basically just like, it's a similar concept. You bring 2 decks, you have to win a best 2 out of 3 people. You have to win with like both your decks. Like, it's a really like fun, interesting format. It's actually like the only reason I would have like continued to play V if it picked up. Dude, that premium could get very expensive if you aren't careful. Exactly. Like, right, it would be hella expensive with physical. Like, exactly. It's very like hella expensive with like physical cards. Which, granted, I would probably be like, alright, if you need like to move cards around, because like I'm not going to expect everybody to own multiple Sanctitudes or like multiple Zeroth Dragons, like I'd be like, yeah, I'd just go for it. And I'm probably going to do that myself because I'm not buying a second Megiddo. I'm not buying seconds of any of the Zeroths, but like Standard's a lot more affordable to do that. But like, again, I want to do like multiple TCGs. I just need to figure out like some third decks for like some of them. Like, I technically only own one Shadowverse deck right now. I don't own a third Digimon deck, but that is like down the road. But regardless, like when you see me make that announcement like with Jaime, which probably won't be for a while. I don't even know if I'm gonna get to it this year realistically, but it is something that I want to do. Because I think it's like just like a super cool concept. And well, I haven't seen Vanguard in a while, probably like 10 years or so. I mean, so you probably saw the game when like it first came out then, because the game's been around for a little over 10 years. But it is on a pretty strong boom right now. Like, I do think it depends on like where exactly you are, but like, the game is like in a very good spot. I feel, bro. My friend should give me that deck every time we play that. See, I feel like it'd just be fun to do it, but yeah, I do get that feeling though. I've also been like debating like on some of the exact rules of it, like do we want to do casual decks, competitive decks, like what defines casual, what defines competitive, but like that is like an idea that I want to do. And also like part of the problem is like at least with the TCGs I play less, so it's like if like for Digimon for example, right? I'd be playing the same deck, like same 3 decks probably every single time. We're gonna play on with you and R. Oh, did we play? God, it's been so long. But I still think this game is like absolutely sick. It's still my favorite like main TCG. I'm just kind of sad I have to wait forever for my next event, but you know what? If Robbie does have events this summer, I will absolutely be competing. So I need to save 5. Okay. 1, 2. Actually, I probably should just save spots for the new promo grade one whenever we get it. So that. 2 layers of Tom, and then this will be the okay. So from here, this page onward is where we start going again. But I've been playing this game like probably the longest out of anybody that I've known. Realistically, like I've been playing since the original Set 3 came out in Japan. So I've been in this game for a hot minute. You know, I'll put the Battle Sister Stridefighters in first, I guess. Yeah, like, it was really funny too, because like I didn't love this game at first. Like when I first started, I was like, oh, this game's like kind of neat, but I'll like don't see myself staying in it like long term. But also like getting to work with Bushiroad on stuff like has made me appreciate the company so much more. Like, for those of you who remember Vanguard Zero, I was a beta tester for that game. I would be up for relearning that game if you want to teach it. Absolutely, dude. Like, I am actually certified by Bushiroad to teach this game. I have been hired by them at conventions like to reteach people. You what? Yeah, I was the beta tester for Zero. So fun fact, actually, I guess, to give context on like probably my biggest contribution to that game. In the beta of it, like when you were going through story mode, So I guess for people who did not play Vanguard Zero, keep in mind there was no English like dub in the game. It was written like you could read it in English, but like all the voicing was done in Japanese because like obviously they weren't gonna like, rehire everybody. But that game was like so again like done in Japanese, like written text in English, but they did for some reason felt that it was appropriate to not add a skip button to the story dialogue. And I remember just being like, every single time I sent feedback, like, please add a skip button for the dialogue I am begging you. Like, let me just skip to the gameplay. Because when I had to demo that game for people, it was a nightmare every single time. It wasn't most of the story dialogue, just the anime. It, like, unless it was an event, yes, it was really just verbatim the anime dialogue. It was the exact same thing. There was literally zero difference. And that's not even an exaggeration, literally zero difference. This yeah, like it was like terrible, and I was like, Bushiroad, what are you thinking? I love story, however, yes. Like, no, let me just say, like, it was so terrible when I was, like, having to demo it at a convention, and they didn't have a skip button. And part of, like, the procedure that they made me go through was, like, whenever someone wanted to try out the demo, we made them, like, go through the little story bit, right? Which, you know, makes sense. You want to introduce new people to the franchise. But having to go back to the very start while mashing through all the dialogue, then play the tutorial game just to wind up back at the beginning. And doing that multiple times over like a 4-day weekend at a con. Probably one of the most infuriating moments of my life. Like, I had to do that like, I had to play the demo myself like over 100 times, I'm pretty sure. At least 50. I remember like counting how many times I had to do it, and I went insane. And then I did do this right? Yes. So this will be the PG, this will be the Office Angel, Tetran Magus, so 2 cones, and then I have a rando 1-of spot. So I will slot the Tsukuyomi grade 1 here. Yeah, like, I love Bushiroad. Also, for the record, and I do have to specify this, all opinions are entirely my own. I do not reflect the company in any way, shape, or form, right? Everything I'm saying is entirely me. Just keep that in mind, please, and thank you. But, like, I love them, but oh my god, do I have some opinions on the way they've done some things. But, like, I've gotten, like, to know, like, some people, like, within the company, like, I used to know the head of US sales. Like, I actually have him on Facebook, funnily enough. And actually, he went from... he went transitioned around to, like, a few different companies, if I remember right. Like, he went from Bushiroad to Konami to Bandai. And I think he's still at Bandai right now. Yeah, super chill, dude. I love that dude. PG, batch, those. I forgot I don't have like a random 1-of that I will be needing to pick up later. That's fun, I guess. Fucking people. Oh, this is gonna be so weird. The one on mandatory crescent. Dude, this card was starting at one point to go on a buyout, and I think it's very funny that like the 1-of and the clan like was reaching that point. But yeah, like it is the mandatory 1-of. Alright, I need to save space for Calico. Why did the Wii Shop channel? Oh, it's because YouTube thought I wasn't paying attention anymore. Okay. I got Wii U Shop Channel or Wii Shop Channel jump scare. Actually, you know, I'm gonna shove. I'm gonna flip this around a little bit, I think. I'm technically not doing this in a good way, but I will figure this out regardless. So this is going to be the 4 Calicos, because I need to pick up 4 of those. 4 Psychic Birds, because I don't own those. Oh look, we reached the half. Maybe I can slap golds in here, actually. I might have, like, enough space for that, even without, like, knowing my exact shopping list for golds. But no, like, it was just, like, terrible, like, forcing everybody to go through, like, the story, or me having, like, to go through it, like, every single time. But they did really value my feedback, which is super cool. I actually, I don't have it, like, on me, because, like, it's with a bunch of my Christmas stuff, but I have, like, one of the employee, Vanguard Zero, like, it might be in my Twitter. I might have tweeted about it, like, forever ago when I got it. Like, a Vanguard, like, Zero-themed, employee, like, thank you card from Bushy Road, which is super cool to have. Because kind of like, you're never going to see those again, so it's like, you know. Oh, wait, right, no, I do have... Right, I have triggers that need to go in here. So I can't swap in my PGs yet. I need to remember the order I put all the stuff in, but that's a future me problem. But nope, not the heals. Yeah, I absolutely, like, still love and adore this game. This is still probably my overall favorite TCG. I do want to just do more TCG content in general, but, like, it's just hard. Like, especially because, like, it feels like it's perfect for collaborative stuff, but the problem is like, I'm not really a Yu-Gi-Oh player like much anymore, right? Like, I'll play Edison. I sometimes, once in a blue moon, do a Master Duel stream, like, if I like an event, and that's, like, all I really play of Yu-Gi-Oh at this point. Which I bookmarked some Joshua Schmidt videos I wanted to watch later, so maybe, like, after at some point, maybe just take a break and then watch some of those. Because I think that'd be kind of neat, just, like, you know, bring up the tension, like, instead of just sorting cards the entire time. So why did it... Well, I guess it's not terrible. Smidge blur. It's okay. But, like, I have, like, a decent amount of, like, pretty OTT stuff. I will also save space for the 2 one-of strides. Do I have... Actually, how many one-of strides do I even own in this clan? Is it just this? Okay, it's just the Astral Susanoo. Or Kamalo Susanoo, excuse me. 2 Kieran. These will be for the 2 one-of Battle Sister strides, and then everything else can start going in perfectly. Alright, I still want to pick up a 3rd Sun of Eternity on Monorosu. I did forget about that. We'll see how that space works out. Yeah, I guess for my Vanguard players in chat, or the people that are interested in, how have you guys been enjoying all the announcements so far? Or just, like, all the Bushiroad announcements in general? I'm still gushing about Vanguard coming to Shadowverse Evolve. Like, that doesn't feel real to me. Stolens. Call it the Ultimate Rare Vanguard Arts for Evolve. Yeah. Hold on, let me show those real quick, because I think I saved them to remind myself, like, I need to pick these up. I'm pretty sure I did, right? Didn't I? There's no way I didn't. I can't show some of this stuff because it's references for myself for part of the rebrand that's coming up next year. Did I really not? There's no way I didn't. What is this? Oh, right, I know what that is. I do not need that image anymore. I could have sworn I saved them. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not completely incompetent. I could have sworn I saved. If not, I will find them again. Maybe I liked them on Twitter or something. That could have been it. not so? Yeah, maybe I am stupid. I might just be stupid. Well, I found the other art, so I guess I saved some of them, but just not all of them? Nope, it looks like I just did not save them. Hold on. Let me look on Twitter. Hello, Mental. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Set 4 next week. Oh, right! Yeah, Shadowverse does come out next week for set 4. Oh god. I don't even know what I need for that set for Sword. I can DM to you if you need them. That would actually be greatly appreciated, Dragon. Thank you. But yeah, like, no, those arts are like criminally gorgeous. And then there's... I guess as long as I do 1-3, then I'll be okay. So I save... Let you hold me 1 second. Yeah, thank you very much. That would be... I want to show those on stream because they are gorgeous arts. Like, criminally gorgeous arts. Like, those arts are all doing these to me and I want them all. Yeah, I am... Actually, I forgot that Shadowverse comes out with a new set next week. I actually need to figure out what I need for Sword. Because I actually might be playing Shadowverse at Chicago or Rosemont. I just don't know officially if I'm like what I'm doing for day 1 yet, because I still haven't found my 3rd teammate. This has been like the most struggle bus for like a Springfest I've ever had, and it's actually kind of wild. I'll also look at my bookmarks real fast if I randomly have it. I probably do somewhere, but I just don't know where. So my Twitter bookmarks are an absolute like mess right now. When I say a mess, I mean a mess. Like, I'm actually planning to like all this stuff. I wish I just had infinite money for commissions. That's like what half my bookmarks are right now. It's just like me wishing I had infinite money. Just getting back after long as still just having some trouble getting product. I understand that feeling. Also, hello Paladin, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Glad to have the new chatters, by the way. Hope you guys are having a good one. Even if we're just vibing sorting cardboard right now, but yeah. But like, it isn't really like, it's so weird like how it's kind of a struggle to get like some Vanguard product. Like, I still will complain about like how Luard and Shiranui were handled. I think like those 2 products in specific were done very poorly. Which, I mean, I get it in the context that like Messiah did so bad, everybody was afraid to like buy into Shiranui and Luard. Also, yes, thank you so much for these images. Hold on, as soon as like they load on my other tab, I will gush about these arts. We had like a small frame jump, it's like nothing major, it's just that Discord doesn't want it to load or something. Maybe they're... Oh wait, no, hold on. They are... Weird, like, it's specifically struggling to load the leader. It's already a 5 attack deck without resaves, but come with resaves. It kinda, like... Like, the problem is like, they just didn't know how to design it. I was expected to create, when they picked like a mid to late G-deck, strategy instead of like, say, Asha or Almile, was a mistake going from set 1 to 4 to like 9. See, I do, and like, I think the problem is like that Dominate was always like, I mean, Nubatama as a design has never been easy. Because we went from probably one of the most toxic concepts in any TCG of hand rip to, hey, what if we make your own units attack them, like attack yourself? Nubatama shouldn't exist.
Like, there's just, like, not a healthy way, I feel, to design Nubatama, and I think that was the problem. Because, like, I prefer Nubatama to Murakumo. You know, I stand by the fact that Nuedayo was probably one of the worst design cards ever in this game's history. Alternatively, I feel like we just had some struggles, you know? Every million is a full deck, wanted to build MLB, a triple drive, not being highly available in Europe, Meta can't get promos. Yeah, right. I heard Europe had some issues in general with some of that stuff. Nuedayo was a mistake, this is facts, absolutely. Also, it finally loaded everything. Okay, hold on. Doesn't Nuba have the most 6 mana cards in the Menace? I believe it does, if I remember right. I think they do. Also, while I'm remembering, since it loaded, for what I was talking about earlier with like the UR stuff. So, this is what the leaders look like. Keep in mind, we don't have the other three, which we're going to get Leon, Asuka, and Misaki. This Kai goes so hard. Can we just talk about how this Kai art goes, like, so hard? Like, I don't play Dragon. I kind of want to play Dragon just so I can justify buying this Kai card. Like, this is criminal. Like, I think Aichi, like, is cute, and it makes sense for the character. I just don't love the art. Like, it's mostly the face that bothers me. And then you have Ren. Like, hold on, let me hide chat real quick. Where's chat? Here we go. Do these have effects? So these are leaders for a different TCG called Shadowverse. They don't have effects themselves, but what they are is like, if you played Buddy Fight, it's kind of like a flag, where it's a card you just start the game with and it tells your opponent what you're playing. And it indicates like what your deck building rules are, basically. Maybe Bermuda keeps getting designed incorrectly. I feel like V Bermuda, like, hold on. Well, let me show the Ren, like, real quick. Yeah, like, that's what the Ren looks like. Like, I think even the Ren is gorgeous. Like, look at this man. This man is beautiful. But, like, I feel like a lot of, like, Bermuda's design was, like, not necessarily done in the, like, in the fault of what it was. I'm like, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this. Like, it was retroactive problems, I think, came with a lot of Bermuda. Like, obviously, I think V Bermuda, like, had too many design problems, and I will agree with that 100%. Have you seen the Vanguard Shadowverse sleeves? Yes, I ordered a pack of each of them. But, like, you look at, like, what happened with Riviera and Bermuda, right? And while I do agree that, like, Twa was kind of a dumb card, it only became super problematic because of the Stride rule change, right? And I still hold my ground. I think V card design was some of the worst card design we've had in the entirety of this game. And yeah, they shoved Shadow Paladin and Abyss, so it's Kagura is Dragon, Royals are Sword, Shadows are Abyss, Aqua Force is Forest, Pale Moon is Rune, and then OGT is Haven. But then there's the arts that are criminal. Kagura is a very basic animal. I mean, I feel like it's just weird, like, where Kagura is like, I don't know. I hold mixed opinions about Kagura just as a claim, but I also have, like, a bias against that claim, which is another story. But look at these. Like, I'm gonna hide you guys for a moment just so you can appreciate these arts. Look at these URs. I am still gushing about this MLB. This is probably my new favorite MLB art in the game. Or not in the game, like in general. My favorite MLB official art. This art is criminal. It is illegally good. I love this artwork so much. Going over potential retain damage of nowhere is kind of crazy. Yeah. This is the best art of the end, no debate. I feel like it's either this or the OG art. I still really have like a soft spot for OG art. Gorvilla another deck I want to build, but I'll see any Halbay getting pulled in any box openings of Triple Drive I've seen. I don't think Halbay is terribly expensive. Hold on. Also, let me swap back to this real quick. Halbay, Vanguard. Oh, he is still expensive. What the hell? I didn't really, like, dang, Triple Drive did not change his price a whole lot. That's actually kind of sad. I should lose our sleep. Always focus on the end. Because the big dragon and multiple guns. Dude, End is so funny. I love that man in lore. Like, he is probably, like, Dragonic Overlord is probably one of the most egotistical units in this entire, like, universe, when I'm all about it. Also, I need to pull out... do I have any gold stuff on this side? I feel like I do. Well, I got the same Emmeline, who's also triple R. Yeah, they're both double R's and triple drive. No, do I really just not have any? Hold on, I thought I had gold stuff. I explained to someone that bit you told me about the end of the cross and lore, and then you're just like, what the fuck is going on in Vanguard? Dude, I still think Dragonic Overlord is like the best egotistical like character I know, and like in any form of media. Oh, I can't. Hold on. That actually cannot be shown on stream, unfortunately. That is that could potentially dox me. But I keep forgetting I own these every single time, and I probably need to sleeve these up. For people who don't know, these are like special triggers that are like from I think it's Love Live, like an AI style Love Live. Dragonic Overlord is his best known hype man. Exactly. That man is like his own best hype man. I could have sworn I had more gold stuff though. Hold on. Oh yeah, I guess for my Fire Emblem fans, I found these again. Like, they're not like all the ones I have, but there are some of them. Summer Tiki, Winter Camilla, and then a Nephany marker. God, I never got to play Cypher, but that game like always looked so cool. That's a bunch of Random Store Chaos stuff. Is any of this gold? Yes, some of this is gold. Okay. I got the FE. Oh no, these aren't sleeves. So kind of similar to like Shadowverse Evolve Leaders that we just kind of showed. You had like a marker kind of deal. Like, I don't exactly understand like in the context of like the gameplay, but you had to have like a marker kind of deal. And like these are like similar to like the Shadowverse Evolve Leaders. Cypher, Fire Emblem Cypher. It was the Fire Emblem TCG. It never came to the States, unfortunately, and it died out in Japan a few years ago because it was primarily a CCG collectible card game more than a TCG for trading card game, which there is a difference for context. What's in here? Oh, is this just all the royal stuff I pulled out from the other day? It's looking like it. Oh yeah, I found these again. My SP original Break Right Ethics Busters. I have some Lucina sleeves for it. Yeah, you've probably seen some of the accessories around. Like I guess it's like a somewhat shameful but funny. Well, not really funny, but like a way I used to like make decent money at Springfest and stuff. Also, SP Dual Flare, the OG. Was that I would buy Fire Emblem Cypher supply sets, which were usually convention exclusives. And they would come with like a bunch of different supplies, like sleeves, deck boxes, storage boxes, like a bunch of stuff, right? I'd keep what I wanted, and then just sell everything else. And like I consistently just like made my money back and then some, and I got to keep the goods I wanted from it. Oh yeah, they also came with like different markers and such. I think I still have a bunch of those, but I don't know where those are, unfortunately. Okay, that's like it was mostly Kagura, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, I found some gold stuff. That's all Bermuda. This is just other stuff, and this is where the Kagura pile begins. Okay.
So now I need to get my Gold Paladin stuff out, because I do think I actually have the space for it. Yeah, like, Cypher was a cool game. Like, I never got to really play it myself, but I always just, like, enjoyed the art. And I collected some cards just because of art. I actually, at some point, want to go back and, buy the final set Lord art set, which, for people who don't know what that is, it's, like, it's a trail of all of the Lords from, like, the Fire Emblem franchise up until Three Houses, because Engage wasn't out at the time when Cypher ended. But it's just like one continuous like piece of art of all the Lords like together. And like, you're supposed to view it like in like a vertical line. It's like super cool and like it goes in chronological order. And they even acknowledge Heroes with Alphonse, which I thought was neat. Because apparently Heroes does count as like an actual Fire Emblem title, and I'm like, that's neat. But to be fair, with how long that game's been going on, I think it does kind of deserve it. Not ironically, I like Alphonse more than I like some of the actual Lords in the franchise. Also, because of Dragon, I know you might like these. I got this saved this pack of sleeves like from a friend of mine like forever ago when he just wasn't like double sleeving. I have like a bunch of like Platinum Ezel sleeves. I have more somewhere. Well, roughly I know where they are, but like, Cypher was a cool game. I wanted to get into it, but like it just never came to the States, so I couldn't justify it. I know I'm going to be botching a bunch of like my gold paladin sorting. Time for you to make millions playing One Piece. See, the problem with me playing One Piece is that I don't super love the IP. I don't hate One Piece as an IP, but I'm just like didn't keep up with it. Also, I do kind of... Actually, you know what? Hold on. Because I remember seeing this one post. I actually kind of want to like show this to you guys real quick. Hold on, let me. Yeah, nothing bad is showing up. Okay, cool. Which I'm gonna go like to show the original context of this for you guys. Let me actually like pause this. Maybe I'll turn this into a video or something if I remember. Since parallel function good spot. Bonus damage versus dragons, it does not care. Don't know about your Dragon Blood. True. Well, hold on. Here it is. So, for people who don't know, like this has been kind of a discussion I've been seeing a little bit. Battle Spirit Saga announced they're doing like a huge, or not Battle Spirit Saga, Grand Archive, excuse me, like a huge like cash prize like pool, right? Like first place it's 20K for when that's pretty good money, right? But even despite like the cash prizing in this game, you still don't have like a whole lot of that. Like obviously, like we're not gonna talk about One Piece because like that's I feel like One Piece like comes up later in this argument, but like Jeff Jones, Mr. YCS Edison himself, one of the probably historically greatest Yu-Gi-Oh players of all time, I would say, realistically. Kind of just made this post like if people have learned anything about card games and monetary rewards does not fuel players' engagements as much as one thinks. Despite Bandai's Battle Spirit Saga offering substantial cash prizes initially, sustaining a player base has proven challenging. The enduring appeal lies down to how it handles the products and OP. I'm assuming he means IP in this case, but unless OP means something else entirely. Actually, yes, OP you could say for original product. The quality of the game, its associated intellectual property, and the genuine enjoyment players derive. For instance, the allure of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and MTG transcends financial incentives.
as players are motivated by their passion for the game in the sense of community it fosters. Organized play. Oh, you know what? That makes more sense even more than I think about it. Thank you. I'm just not used to seeing the term, like, shortened like that. But yes, that acronym actually makes a lot more sense. Large cast tips may initially attract attention. Long-term players' retention hinges on deeper factors beyond mere monetary gains. BSS proves you can't just throw money at something and make it work, which is true, which is really true, and I feel like it's also why, like, we see the TCGs that we do, or the TCGs that do prosper do, because of the fact that, like, they organize it in such a way that, like, really holds player attention, right? Like, even though Bushiroad doesn't really make a cent off hosting regionals at all, they do a really good job of keeping, like, numbers. Like, I have, like, never seen numbers dip at Bushiroad regionals, like, ever. I know Springfest is going to be a little bit different considering people aren't happy with the way that it was done. I thought BSS was dead. It's just been, like, on the low, right? Like, but that's the thing, like, it's been so quiet and, like, people, like, aren't gravitating towards it because, like, all right, well, how do we retain attention? They're throwing money at it. Like, Konami does not do cash prizing. Konami gives you terrible prizing for events. If you want to make money in Yu-Gi-Oh, you are better off playing side events. Bring Cat to Georgia. This has to be see that, and like that's the thing. Like you can like Bushiroad. Like sure, its prizing isn't amazing. Like you get a prize card. Yeah, people are not happy about tri-regulation, which that's like a different argument entirely. But like, you have like stuff like this where it's like you just throw money at an event, say, "Oh yeah, this is good," and it's just not holding players' attention at all. And then like Noman followed up on this point. Noman for people who don't know is part of WCC or aka World Class Card Fighters, and they're like a super big Vanguard team. Realistically, like some of the best players in the world are on this team. Derek Dow, Kevin Cho, who is the former V Premium World Champion. Solemn's on this team. Like WCC as a team is stacked for context. And Noman like plays like every TCG under the sun. Fun fact, I actually learned this recently. This man used to play VGC. Like he actually used to be a VGC player, and I did not know that. He did apparently just play it for a time, but he apparently used to be like an actual VGC player. But to follow up on it, like, what can Noman not do? I really don't know what this man can do. This man does like everything. But anyways, following up on the points, like the amount of times someone has brought up to me drooling out their mouths, yapping, the prizing is crazy. I play CCGs if the game is fun to me, not the prizing. Which, that's important, right? Like, your game has to be good. Like, you look at, like, MetaZoo, that game's gonna hold a player base, like, at all. Like, I would say that's probably one of the biggest commercial flops out of any TCG. If money wasn't my main objective, I'd go get a part-time job, which, again, makes sense. MetaZoo wasn't a real game. It really wasn't. Like, people say it was a game, like, but again, like, it just didn't hold attention. Play games you enjoy playing, if it continued. Play games you enjoy playing it. If it is a game you enjoy that happens to have good pricing, awesome. Which I think that's, like, true, right? Like, it's what holds Yu-Gi-Oh players, like, in a lot of cases. Because, like, let's be real. Yu-Gi-Oh pricing is garbage. Yu-Gi-Oh pricing is terrible. Like, if you want to make money playing Yu-Gi-Oh, you play side events. You go play side events, you win, like, your uncut sheets. You go win your giant cards. What do you get if you win, like, a YCS? You get, like, a box of product and a Nintendo Switch and a trophy and a prize card. And right now, the last couple prize cards have been terrible. You do not make, like, you do not make your money topping an event. Like, you don't make your money topping, like, a Nationals when your deck, like, costs, like, 1K. Like, you do not make your money back in that game. But that game still holds, like, consistent attention. Sure, it's been, like, had some things that declines, and granted, I think this current format is, like, a prime example. So it's how Konami runs the game in the West. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like Konami's just been, like, making, like... Granted, I think, like, Konami's decisions lately have been terrible. Like, I don't understand why Worlds is as excluded as it is, when Worlds has no reason to be. Worlds is always like an event that you go see like hype at. Like I know a lot of European players are like kind of on that right now, where it's like they just went to like Pokemon Worlds to check it out because Pokemon Worlds was open. You don't have like any events in Europe for Yu-Gi-Oh! Like this entire like season. It's like why? Like what? Why do you like? You either just try so hard at regionals, or it's like, this season doesn't matter because there's no events. I might as well just go have fun. And you're seeing like a lot of European players do that, but like equally, you're still seeing attention at those games because even while the pricing, like the limited number of events there are, you're gravitating attention just because your game is fun, in one sense or another. Like obviously, some people don't love getting comboed on for 15 minutes or like getting floodgated at the game, but it still holds attention. But going up to people and explaining why pricing instead of the gameplay itself is probably one of the worst ways to try to introduce people and get people to stay in the game long term. I had so many people that did this in particular, like with Vanguard, which I thought was kind of a joke. Like where they would be like, "Oh yeah, you win like a prize card, you can sell it for like anywhere from like $300 to $800," and it's like, okay, but why are you just not telling them about the way the game plays? Like, I don't understand this like price point. And that's like it's kind of the same thing with One Piece. Like I'm sure One Piece is a fun game. And yes, I understand that One Piece's pricing is like insane. But again, going back to like the earlier points, like if I just want money, I just get another job. And then kind of going back to here, it's like this is part of why it's so big to me that Bushiroad's events are free, which is true for people who don't know. You can enter a Bushiroad event for free, and they give you some goodies. If I care about price, when entry is paid, that's about it. If I had to pay $30 for a BCS, then me just wanting to play wouldn't be enough because that's just some kind of expense, or that's just kind of expensive. My personal opinion is that I would just enter for the sake of competition and play the game regardless of pricing of entry, which there's been debate about that, right? Like I know people have like clamored on Bushiroad being like, why is your pricing as bad as it is? Why don't we have better pricing? I will say that I think One Piece might be the only game that can play out the jobs and stats prices like six figures, which is true, and I will give you that. But again, if you have to devote all of your time and attention to a game like One Piece, like, and I'm saying like your free time, right? Like, obviously if you're someone who works like a 9 to 5, and then you have to devote like the rest of your time after that to One Piece. Like, I still hope you enjoy the game, because otherwise like, you could just like be relaxing or just like get a part-time job. And sure, maybe you won't make as much money, but equally probably in the long term, compared to like how unlikely you are to top a nationals. Because what, nationals is once a year? You have like one chance to win that 6-figure card. One Piece is expensive. That is also true. One Piece like also has like just because of like how that game has been stocked historically, that game is terribly expensive. Also, hello Aki, welcome. But yeah, like regardless, I think like there's just like some issues. I think treasure price like for the 5 digits depending on the card. I don't know how often treasure cups are, but regardless, like you can't exclusively get into a game just for the money, right? I don't think it works that way in terms of long term, right? And like granted, I do think One Piece will hopefully hold. I hope One Piece holds. Like I think we are in a great TCG renaissance right now where there is a game for everybody in some way, shape, or form. You want to go like balls to the walls, like combo-y, kind of like you want to play like Street Fighter and like a TCG, you can go play Yu-Gi-Oh, right? You want to just like exclusively go out for the money, sure, you have One Piece. If you're getting into a game for the money only, you're missing the point of the actual game. Exactly, that is literally the point. Like sure, like I know Yu-Gi-Oh players have claimed, like, oh, we want cash prizing, we want this for prizing, we want that for prizing, but you have to remember that like Kazuki Takahashi like was adamant about like being like, it is a game, it is something you were supposed to enjoy. Like I do agree, someone who plays better than the pricing for the most events is packs and maybe a specific card. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty common. Like you get like something for entry, And like as you trickle up, like you get better pricing. I know Shadowverse is like, hey, if you participate, you get like a special like PR card. If you make it to a certain threshold or get a certain amount of wins, then you get a special PR card. If you make top 8, you get like the card, and then the higher up placement, you get more copy of like that specific PR of the event, right? And that makes sense. I think like, sure, you can sell the stuff for money, but it's not that it's like in the long term, like that's what's going to be holding you into a game. It needs to be the game at its core that holds you into its monetary, or not its monetary, but that holds you into its audience, right? Because if I'm not having fun playing your game, I'm not sticking around. Like, and that's part of why I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! I stopped enjoying the game for what it was. Like, hold on. Like, sure, I could keep grinding Edison events and then selling these mats for like roughly $100, give or take, right? But that's not why I'm like playing Edison as a format in Yu-Gi-Oh! I play it because I enjoy it, and is how I still enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! As like a modern like piece of the game. Oh, of course, but I feel like some people would just like to be rewarded for playing in the games versus Konami, just like fucking they're just fighting everything toxic like the company does. Bandai is toxic, but at least the one with One Piece is doing a solid job. Yeah, and I'm gonna get again. I'm giving props to One Piece, but I also feel like a big reason that One Piece pricing holds as much like that it does is because people are actively enjoying the game. Because I will admit, whenever Bandai launches a new game, it does initially have that super high like hype behind it, right? Bandai does a good job at that. I remember the Digimon boom during the pandemic, and I did not believe that game was going to stick around. I thought Digimon was going to die out like maybe a year afterwards. That's why I waited a year before I started playing that game. And sure, like it's dipped a little bit. Like obviously, I know it's a lot more of like a Western game compared to an Eastern game, but it's still holding on, right? Like the game's still doing its job. And like obviously, yes, like everyone wants better pricing, but that can't. The point is that it can't be the end goal of what like you're trying to say. Also, yeah, hold on. Thank you very much for sending this, by the way, to like prove a point. Where peaceful screen? Here we go. Yeah, like this prize card for One Piece, like basically $1,000, right? You're basically paying $1,000. And it's fine to have like expensive prize cards, right? I think that's cool. But it's like I can tell you right now, it is not the fact that this card like just because of its pricing is what's holding players. It is the players' love of the game and the IP that then attracts people and then raises the price of the card. The problem with pricing is on part of the ones running it. 100% true. 100% true. Good price cards are good. Prices cards are good. See the season spring price cards. Yeah, hold on. Like, let me pull that up for context for people who don't know, like, or like just haven't like paid as much attention. Regional championship pricing. So like, let's take a look at like what Bushiroad is doing right now for this current season, right? So just for participating, also tonight, I don't care. They were so you can't get those three anymore. Yeah, and that's pretty common for prize cards. Like, to have like a season where they're available, and past that season you can't get them anymore. But like, let's just like take a look at this, right? Like, first off, this Trickstar art, we never got this in English. Brainwash Swirler has averaged in its lifespan. Like, it's had low points, obviously, but it's averaged like a $20 to $30 card. Versatile Assembler is kind of a miss, but whatever. Mythiarch Habitat is, oh my god, this card has been like impossible to get realistically. It was a sneak promo that has gone through so many highs and lows. Yuika, this card's like on average again kind of the same as Brainwash, where average anywhere from like 20 to 30 if not more. Spiral Cutie started really low, but then we're like, oh, everybody kind of needs this card. Dismal has just been hard to get one of, like, because it's an old card at this point, but like almost every single deck runs it. And then Crystal Luster is just a card that's like, it was expensive when it came out and it never got cheaper. It's always been like a roughly like $40 to $70 card. As far as we can crowdfund price. like what they do with esports. Remember the con for Worlds, you get Bushiroad and just use part of that money to pay for better pricing. There have been some events for that, right? Like, immediately, it's just weird for some games where it's like you don't see community support, which I think is kind of a shame, but equally I kind of get it. Like, for people who don't know, Pokemon Go was actually kind of in that situation, but they also had official sponsoring. Pokemon Go used to do, like, back, like, before it became, like, official at, like, real Pokemon events, there was a community called the Silphco that ran, like, Pokemon Go regionals, nationals, and, like, you would win, like, hard cash prizing if you topped. However, it did dwindle over time. I played in the second to last year, I want to say, before it officially stopped, and I made it to nationals that year, and, like, pricing was 5,000, which for tapping your phone, that's pretty good, right? Like, I'm not gonna complain for, like, tapping my phone in, like, a game and just trying to win that kind of money. But it wasn't the money that ever held me in that game. I didn't even know that there was official pricing for Pokemon Go at the time. I played it because I enjoyed it. So the prize cards that you have always been reprinted with a new art. I'm sure that's the same for these games. It depends on the game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Tends to do a new card, which has been very hit or miss. Like, you've had points where, like, it's like right now it's like a worthless vanilla monster that only goes for like $200. And then you've had instances where it's like you've had super expensive, like, high impact meta cards, like the Xyz Minerva or Giant Hand, where you're looking at like thousands of dollars just to get those cards. In Bushiroad's case, like the Trickstar is a new art. Everything else is kind of like a reprint. And sure, these are all common, but these are just participation cards that everybody wants. So even just showing up, you're getting something good. I can comment about Vice. I know a lot of people have been excited about these Shadowverse promos in specific. Because, like, everything, like, everybody almost gets something. I know Rune players don't really love the Magical Bishop because chess isn't good, but that's besides the point. And then the prizing, right? Like, this is what you get for Champion. Also, you do get a mat for... You get a medal and a certificate, depending on, like, how you get top 3. But then when you look at the prizing, right? Like, for Shadowverse players, you get Mr. Bahamut. This is one of the most iconic characters in Cygames, like, media in general. Remember when we had one case in Vanguard or ARGs, I felt like the scene itself was just kind of been weaker communities, and it's even like G for what we play. We'll talk about ARG in a moment, but yes, you were 100% correct on that. But, like, there were multiple issues with, like, that point as a whole, and I'll start playing music when we get to that. For Vice, I know so many people that are foaming at the mouth for this Anya. I have not watched this anime, but I have already seen people offer, like, 3 to 4 digits for this card. Because people just want it because it's Vice and it's freaking Anya. Oh, she's cute. Yeah, like, exactly. She's cute. People love Spy Family. Like, I know people at the mouth are foaming for this, right? And then for Vanguard, like, both of these are hits. Both of these cards are hits. The standard prize card is a hit. The tri-regulation prize card is a hit. But, like, it's not the monetary value. It's like, oh, because, like, if it was just money, right? Like, it's different in comparison to, like, One Piece, where it's like, oh, it's a show that everybody watches, and, like, it's an IP that everyone has, like, some fondness for. So even non-players, like, are interested in the pricing of it. But if you're, like, a Vanguard player, sure, these appeal of these two promos in specific are going to hold a lot less, like, grabability for people. But the people that do play this game are like, oh, I want these because these are just cool. Like, look at this. This, like, I know not everyone's going to care, but to me, this is cool. This is gorgeous. I want this. I am trying so hard for this right now. So I don't think Vice Sway's promos got friend under her face. Vice just plays 2 years. Exactly. But the thing is, like, with Vice, and again, even though Vice itself is a whatever IP, Vice gives a lot of these animes and other mediums their own, like, it gives you, like, physical merch, right? Like, I can you're telling me if I'm a Spy Family fan, I can have this super special, rare, limited, like, edition Anya card? Hell yeah! Like, I have a friend who has, like, the entire, like, max rarity, like, master set of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And like he doesn't really play Vice, he kind of plays it, but like he only really plays like during like the season if he's not playing Vanguard that year. But like he loves owning that set. But like it's the fact that it's like it's a recognizable IP and it's not just the money, right? Like, and again, going back to One Piece, it's not just like the fact that this card is worth a lot. It's the fact that the players are willing to assign this kind of monetary value to this card because people care about One Piece. It's similar to Yu-Gi-Oh pricing, right? Sure, the Yu-Gi-Oh pricing is absolute garbage and it will not even cover like the cost of your deck on average, but because the IP holds so much ground, that is where we get to, like the high attendance numbers, because it's attendance that really matters at these kind of events, right? Like if you're seeing like lower and lower player attendances, it doesn't matter if you're offering like 100K in pricing or 50K or whatever, an arbitrary number you want to play. It's just, you can only hold people's attention so much unless, like, let me tell you guys actually a story that's also similar to this on a smaller scale. So my locals at the time, like, started doing cash tournaments, and Konami was not happy with that. Konami is obviously very like anti like cash pricing, which again, that was a Kazuki Takahashi thing. I think it makes sense. But Konami said, hey, either you guys stop doing your cash tournaments, or we're gonna stop giving you like being like an official distributor. We're not gonna like let you guys run sneak peeks anymore, all that stuff, right? People said they wanted the money over the official events. And so the local, or the owner of my locals, like, all right, we're done doing that then. Cash pricing. You want to know what happened after that? 2 months later, when we kept trying to run the cash tournaments, people just stopped showing up, and people just kept going back to the other store in my area for sneaks. And I was gonna go into my mom, keep this on the background for Sleep CL. All right, you have a good one, Dragon. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, like it's again like it's the fact that like the pricing is appealing to the players, and it's like they make the pricing in ways that like grabs like a player's attention for the IP rather than just saying, hey, we're giving you money. Because again, if we go back to the original point of this, Battle Spirits just like, and again, we had people come in early saying, I thought this game was dead. Obviously it's not, but you know, with just cash pricing, it's not holding people's attention. And that's the point. So overall, like there's not like a super hardcore point. Like obviously you need like a balance of appealing enough pricing to keep players' attentions, but at the same time you need like an IP strong enough that can hold like a player's attention even without pricing. You can't just grab somebody with pricing. And I feel like even like whenever I hear about One Piece, like sure I hear about the crazy numbers that it offers, but then I just like, you know, again, like I don't super care for the IP. I don't hate One Piece, but I'm not like as devoted to it as other people are, and that's like my driving like antithesis of like being into the game. Yeah, that was a little rant, but well, not really rant, just more like a discussion. But I feel like it was overall like a good point to bring up, and like I just wanted to like talk about it a little bit. Yeah, you guys are fun to let me know what you all think. And I think it would be just very cool to keep the discussion going. Maybe, like, you know, I need to make this a YouTube video. This is actually just, like, a worthwhile discussion to go up, like, with on a YouTube video. I realize it's a little rambly, but I think it evokes, like, some good discussion. So that's why I'm surprised some of these companies don't leverage their player base to either crowdfund events for attention, Dota 2, or to con Pokemon. Communities of exclusive cool stuff, so really pushy with the private worlds. So there was the invitational that Chris, Different Fight, had back during World Season, which I think that was like a great idea, right? And then what else was there? There was also like the ARGs like for Vanguard, which I hate what happened with that. I think ARG made like probably one of the worst mistakes like ever and lost like so many people's trust, which is unfortunate. But you know, when you shoot yourself in the foot, you shoot yourself in the foot. Which, for the people who don't know what happened there, excuse me, ARG decided, hey, what if we made our own trading card game? But we're the sole distributor of it.
And we're the ones that decide the pricing. Nobody was about that. Like, it was just done so terribly. Like, you made, like, and they were, like, not even, like, trying to hide it. They were, like, yeah, we're gonna, like, it felt the equivalent of, like, kid on the playground says, hey, I have a new game. If you want to play my game, you have to buy it from me. And they could just decide the power creep at their own will. Like, it was just kind of a joke, realistically. I couldn't get behind it. Also, from what I remember, because I think I did own a demo deck for it, like, or no, they gave us, like, demo decks at the last, the very last, like, ARG for Vanguard that they had. And I remember, like, just, like, my friend being like, yeah, it's kind of mid. It's not terrible, it's just kind of a mid game. And it was a shame, but, like, you know.
It's 5:30 p.m.
It's also like how ARG, like, lost a bunch of, like, Yu-Gi-Oh players. Also, that was, I forgot that's how that song ends. And, like, obviously, again, like, there was also stuff like IYG, which I think did, like, I honestly think that IYG, like, did, like, a phenomenal job in, like, terms of, like, their pricing. Like, I remember people were like, I want, like, IYG pricing. Or for people who don't know IYG, Imagine Your Goddess, they were, like, a content creator channel. I do believe they have stopped since then, but, like, hold on. Let me see if I can randomly find, like, a playmat or something. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I found their Twitter. Okay, it looks like they've just like been inactive for years. It looks like. Is their website still good? Nope, their website is dead. Okay. Okay, I found some of the mats. Hold on. Yeah, I remember, like, they had the stand-up series. Oh, that's terrible quality. Hold on. Yeah, like, some of these, like, mats were, like, I remember seeing some of these. Some of these were, like, absolutely sick, and I remember wanting to go. I was almost wanting to travel out of state to try and, like, win some of these. Because I thought they were just... And, like, some of them were just participation, too, and it was wild at how good, like, some of this stuff was for, like, participation prizing, right? Like, it was straight up, like, some of, like, the highest quality, like, Vanguard art. Like, yeah, they had shirt... Hold on, I apologize. I'm trying to, like... organize this in a way that also, like, doesn't, like, dox myself. But, like, what do you think? I mean, people like, so active event-wise in Vanguard. It's like so Robbie, I know, actually was a case of because of the pandemic. Like, he tried to organize an event right before the pandemic. Then the pandemic happened, and obviously, like, despite... I mean, I'm not gonna, like... How do I word this? It's like, without coming across too politically, as someone who lives in Indiana, I know a lot of people were, like, on the COVID is not going to affect me argument, right? I can't speak in specific for IYG. I know IYG had, like, something of a reputation that people weren't, like, the most in love with. Robbie, I know, is trying to restart stuff. I actually do talk to Robbie somewhat. I actually have him, like, on Facebook, and, like, he's like, yeah, I recognize you by, like, name and face. So we do chat every so often. Like, I see him, like, every single year a couple times. But it's just, like, a mixed bag, right? Like, hold on. Like, look at this Night Rose, Matt. I would go crazy for this. Like, this Night Rose mat is gorgeous. Like, this, I don't know who, I think this is, like, their mascot girl. If I remember right, is who this, like, little girl is supposed to be, but it's, like, Asha, Gavriel, Night Rose.
They had shirts. Like, they had a bunch. Like, you can find a bunch of this media on, like, their Facebook. Their Facebook page is still open. But it's very hard just to, like, keep community attention at times when you consistently just, like, have to find new ways to do it, right? Because, again, like, we're at a point where it's, like, pricing has to be good enough, but it also has to be done in a way where it's, like, obtainable for players. I know people who go crazy. Dude, the 9 Rose mat is so good. I almost traveled out of state to try and get it. It's a gorgeous mat. And like again, like IYG, like I know like had a very strong like, despite the arguable reputation. I think it was mostly like their seller reputation, if I remember correctly. It's been so long because like they phased out in like 2018, 2019 maybe, somewhere in that range. Like IYG just like kind of phased out of nowhere, but it was just like it was such like a mix. Oh, why is that was weird. Like the page was just like curved in a way I've never seen it like curved before. But regardless, like IYG like had so much like good going for them, and it's insane that they just randomly like disappeared. I know they eventually started like to have like lower event attendance, and I know that's similar to the No Limit Gaming events, which I think problem was that was like part of it was Robbie trying to be cheaper on the mats because it looked like weird 3D model renderings. Like if you all remember like the English exclusive Blaster Blade Blaster Dark, where it looks kind of like very Western style art, it was kind of like that, but a little bit more jank. I don't have like a better way to describe it, but like there wasn't like the pricing just did not keep gravitating people. And again, like you can't do just cash pricing. There has to be availability. I know ADA stopped doing a lot of Vanguard too. Did they really? Because like I'd still say like they stock it, but I dump stuff. That sounds right. But like it's also just been like a very weird conundrum ever since like the V era, because as much as people don't want to admit it, people are like, oh, the first reboot was so good for the game. No, it was like the worst thing that happened for this entire game. I literally stand by it. The V reboot was the worst decision for Vanguard Bushiroad has ever made. Even like going into D was a significantly better change. V was so terribly done, and like the fact that it almost killed the game multiple times, I think is insane. Which granted, it shows you that players still love this IP enough to like want to keep playing it. But on the other hand, you're like, what the fuck, Bushy? Like you, and again, like I'm saying this out of someone like who loves this game, right? Like I'm not saying like it's like, oh, I want to trash talk like Bushiroad. Remember that? Oh yeah. Also for people who don't know, because this like was only from an interview, Hinani, Bushiroad's like, I believe he's the CEO if I remember correctly, like basically head of Bushiroad, commented like in an interview that the D era reboot started during the first year of the V era reboot, because V lost the trust of so many people just by existing. And I'm not even just by existing, that format lost the trust of so many people. Like so many people were just quitting, like event attendance was at a low. It was bad. Like V was just not a good time all around. Like you could not keep player attention at all during the V era. Like card design was consistently boring. Like you had to basically buy a new deck every set. Like V was at a point in card design wise where if you wanted to like say I wanted to one trick gold Paladin throughout all of V, despite the fact that I am one tricking this one clan the entire like couple years that V was the main format, I am having to buy a new deck every set because of how it was supported. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, they supported like all the clans at least once every year. The support was not equal. You can't tell me Murakumo got the same love that Bermuda got during V era. It's not even close. Also, I realized I did not put in stuff I have to the side. Because I had this entire stack. Ah, fuck. Fuck me. I did not put any of this shit away. Unless we say about gifts the better. Yeah, gifts are also a terrible decision. I guess I'm not too far. Yeah, I can take some of this stuff out. Son of a bitch. This happens sometimes. And then, like, just the power creep. I don't understand who thought gifts and buff triggers were good to get. I don't mind buff triggers as much. Like, I do think it was just problematic when we had the disparity, like, between clans, like, especially premium. Like, it was a terrible time if you wanted to play, like, a clan that did not immediately have V support. Because, like, in premium, like, unless you were Gear Chronicle, and even then I think Gear Chronicle was coping, the best decks were the ones that had the more recent support. And that was almost always the case. Like, I remember DP was a threat as soon as 8 got, like, 10k triggers. But, like, when we, like, first entered, like, the very first, like, when we were in Q4 format for V, when it came to premium, your meta was just, oh, I hope you're playing Royals, Kagura, OTT, or Nova Grappler, because that's all that's viable right now. And I guess, again, technically Gears, but Gears and Bermuda. Gears and Bermuda were both good at that point. I think the buff triggers the cards like Exterminates if the triggers were still 5k. Like cards would be consistently hitting 60 to 80k. I feel like that's both true and false simultaneously, because like I feel like again we have to eventually hit like points of power creep where we can just sell newer cards, but like maybe like well no, because that's not even true, because we hit like similar numbers during the end of G era. Like you look at Neo Nectar and tell me that that just wasn't hitting like almost 100k every single time. It was kind of gross. Which, granted, again, that's also like end of G era kind of had its own problematic design, but they were designing cards at that point to be absolutely like crazy. To be like, alright, we're sending off G to then enter the first reboot. But then you had different problems with the reboot at that point. Vanille's only had. Then you later got some cards that could like call mid battle phase, but that took until about the end of G. But it did take a while to like actually reach that point. But also because that power doesn't stick with. Like you could like because of how Bloom worked, you could rebuff units, or you would typically keep like one unit that had power. And then like the new cold unit sure would be weaker, but it would still have like a significant amount of power. So I don't think it's like that far-fetched. Also, I guess technically, in case I find a random one upgrade 3. But also, speaking of Neo Nectar, I am highly considering playing that for my Spring Fest season, because that deck looks really good right now into Nubatama. Because Nubatama is kind of a gross clan. But equally, I need to see what the ban list looks like. So wait, we get the ban list next week afterwards? Katrina's LP. I mean, I feel like it's strong, but I do admit, like, I was very nervous about Katrina coming back to 4 at first, but now I'm kind of like, you know what, I think Katrina's okay. I realistically think in this day and age, Katrina's kind of okay. It's strong. I'm not going to say, like, it's like, oh, it's completely balanced, but I'm like, I don't hate it in comparison to where a lot of other things are. I think next week you have balance. I think so. Like, yeah, next week. It's not this Friday, but next Friday. Stuff. I need to actually finish like getting all my Duke stuff because I only ever buy like 3 boxes of this set. I think the fact that it stands into Nuba and its current state shows how broken it is. So it's not that it like it's like the thing about Neo Nectar is that the reason a lot of people are playing Neo Nectar right now is because it has the best matchup due to the way the deck innately works against Nubatama, right? Because, like, alright, you dominate a plant token. That does nothing. Like, it has, like, a lot of toolboxy options, but at the end of the day, it's because, like, the way the deck specifically plays, where, like, it's similar in, like, Standard in Japan, where Varga is a really good matchup. It's not that Varga is OP, but because, like, the way, like, everything is shaped around in the game right now, you are able to adapt the deck in a way that counterplays it. Like, it's similar to why I played Nova Grappler last season, like, with Narukami, Chaos, and Gridora were, like, considered the 3 best decks in Milista. Because, like, it wasn't that, like, the deck itself was OP, but because the way, like, everything else around in the meta was shaped, like, that's why the deck was good. And, like, you even, like, look at Worlds, like, last year, or this, like, past year, right? Narukami was expected to be best deck, and people were like, oh, Narukami is so OP. But you know what you did against Narukami? Like, you just play the other decks that people were playing. Like, Victor could play around it because it had a bunch of resist units. Regalia gave everything resist, more or less. Neo Nectar didn't care if you bound a bunch of tokens. And granted, we don't talk about the Fenrir guy because he more or less cheated, but basically gives you a board as your handle. Like, you bring your hand versus Nuba and still play them. That I can really do that. See, I mean, and again, Nuba, I think, is, like, a problematic design. But the other thing about Neo Nectar is that, like, it does not have a late game. So if you can outgrind Neo Nectar, it does struggle. Like, straight up. That deck does not survive in the late game. I have to decide. Chat, give me an opinion. Because I realize my mat is not focused, or my camera's not focused right now. Do I go with hot stamp Dindrains, or do I go with the triple R Dindrains? Because I'd have to pick up a third triple R Dindrain if I want to go with it, but I kind of like the stamps, because the stamps are just kind of cool. Some new decks just hard loses to Gridora feeling like, yeah, like, a lot of decks just like hard lose to Gridora, which I also think is kind of a problem where it's like you have to like consistently build around one deck like Gridora. But you have like some problematic matchups. Like, it's not like Neo Nectar like 100 zeros everything, right? But like Nuba's just at a point where it's like it doesn't care what it's against, but like it's just not fun to be like, oh, did my opponent get the crest or not? And they have like a less than 50% chance to see the crest, and it just like creates uninteractive gameplay. You know, I'm gonna keep the stamp. Dindrains, stamp ones are cool. I've just had them forever. Also, I had stamp Fallout too good. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Plus, like, it's a bigger flex to, like, have hot stamp ones. I did not play. Gosh, no, I keep reading. You know what? I'm gonna put the new cards in later. I will figure that out at a later point in time. I'm gonna have to reorganize golds anyways, considering, what is it? I still haven't even made, like, a gold top shopping list. Also, the odds of getting crest with the V promo plus Mulligan for it is, like, 80% selling. I remember hearing, like, it's, like, less than 50%. That's what, like, I've been hearing from, like, a bunch of the WCC members, but I never did the math myself, so I just kind of listened to people on it. Because equally, my Spring Fest is after the ban list. I don't have to worry until, like, the start of June. So I don't have, like, a real format to, like, play in, you know? But regardless, I do think that, like, that deck just needs to get hit in some way. As much as I don't want to say it, I feel like we might need to hit just, like, the crest grade 1s and premium. It's not fun to give that answer. I want to be able to... Just out of ordinary see Toby. Okay, if it's from Toby, then I completely believe that. Not to say I discredit Outer Orange, I just, you know, like, if you said a name, I'm more, like, recognizing, but again, like, Orange I do also believe. Orange makes sense if she's saying it that way. So if it's above 80, like, roughly 80%, then, yeah. A little problematic. Like, I feel like Neo Nectar is, like, again, like, at that point where it's, like, because, like, the rest of the meta is where it's at, like, that, it's just, like, in a good position right now. I don't think like, the deck is, like, super OP. And if it is, then you know what? It's not like we can't slap it. Oh, I never put sponsor for the symbols.
else in the squad. So did I make a row for... You know, I said I'd reorganize gold. Anyways, that's for the future. But, like... I do think that there are, like, points good and bad about the format, obviously, but... Hopefully we see some of that addressed. I think Standard just kind of needs more help right now than Premium necessarily does, but I'm still not opposed to hitting Nubatama. It's just very, like, it's just hard to, like, design Nubatama where it's like, you don't want to, like, realistically want any clan unplayable, but you also don't want that clan, like, OP to a point where, like, it dominates the format, because that's, like, nobody wants a tier 0 format. And I know, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players might be, like, chomping at the throat to talk about that, but... There are such a thing as, like, healthy tier 0 formats and non-healthy tier 0 formats, and generally tier 0 formats, like, just lean towards the unhealthy aspect of it. Especially when the deck is unavailable to everybody. Like, if Nubatama, I think, wasn't as expensive as it was, I wouldn't hate it as much. But the fact that you're spending, like, $400 for 4 of the... Seizui, the grade 1? That's kind of ridiculous. And that's not even counting the rest of your deck or the G-Zone. That is just 4 cards in your deck. Okay, and then that gives me multiple pages. Yeah, that worked out. You know what I might do, actually, and I guess because I probably have the space for it? I might slap Angel Feather in here for the time being, just to make more space. That might be... I think that's the plan, actually. Yeah, I think we slap Angel Feather in here and then we call it. So I think I have enough spots for Angel Feather. So how many pages is it, roughly? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.5 pages? Okay. How much does my Angel Feather stuff actually take up currently? Oh, we have more than enough space. Cool. Okay. Also, as this person who loves their super niche rarities, God, I love this Art of Gavriel so much. I wish this deck was better, realistically. I know, like, a lot of people submitted it for PG Top Decks last week, which was kind of funny. Yeah, what do you guys want to see on the ban list? Angels? Yeah, I have some of this stuff. I have still a little bit more off to the side, but I've, like... I have a buddy, like, who, like, super hardcore grinded this deck, but he just never got to do anything with it. I feel like they should have given us, like, 4 of each card since, like, feedback from the last couple Stride deck sets. That would have been nice, however, in the concept where the product was not designed for premium, I get it, but I do agree that that should have happened. Like, realistically, I think they should have just, like, reprint, like, even if you didn't want to include it in that product, just reprint extra copies, right? Give me some way to get my Mazer Gears, my Asleep Messiahs, my Knees, my Seizuis. I would have, like, just some way to, like, get my extra copies of those cards so I can play those crest decks in premium. Or just ban the crests, either way. Because I do think, like, it's a mixed bag with how the crests works. Like, because we saw that Crest Jet and Crest Messiah, like, wasn't crazy, right? Like, obviously we're seeing a little bit more Crest Jet right now. Just because I think everybody's like, oh, well, if people are playing Crest Luard and Crest Shiranui, I might as well play Crest Jet because it's funny. But it's so discouraging when it's like you have to fork over like a couple hundred just to like play those cards. Korea got the Stride deck sits in the main booster. Jesus, that is actually kind of wild to hear. But to be fair, Korean product is also insane. Like, they have full art foil Elementaria Sanctitude. But equally, I also think the game just isn't as big in Korea, if I remember right. Because I know Korean product is also like insanely cheap. Maybe unless with like the secret, my Crest Nui hit, because yeah, otherwise other than that, not sure. I think Crest Nui needs to get hit. I don't really know how to approach Narukami, right? Because like
Narukami was the most represented deck at Worlds. Obviously, it didn't convert like well at all. I don't think a single one made it into top 8. I might be wrong about that. Maybe one did. Let's see. Rene, Crescent, even Sukumuraken. I could probably agree with Sukumuraken, yeah. Alternatively, I also think that Rene maybe should go to 2. Because I know it's like what Tai G era also hit it to 2. And I'm like, I'm kind of about it going to 2. I feel like the card is fine to quote unquote exist to give the deck a power push, but equally I think 2 turns of Rene in a row is kind of gross. Equally I think multiple turns of Sukumuraken is kind of gross. Like probably either limit or ban Sukumuraken, because I know some people are playing 2 Sukumurikens. I don't really know if there's like another second other deck. I wouldn't be against Nubatama never being good again. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's fair to say, right? Because like even though like I've had I personally had frustrations with Narukami. Anybody who knows me knows like I have lost multiple regional invites to Narukami, but IG hit it to 2 and the fan made G boot also hit Rena to 2. Yeah, I do remember that. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the specific G format, which I agree with. Like, I think Rene is quote unquote fine, but it's just a little strong to do it multiple times, similar to Sukumuraken. Oh right. Also, I guess while I'm thinking about it, because I probably am going to be ending stream after I put Angel Feather away. Look at this beauty. Oh, let me actually. Okay, here we go. Now you guys see this better. This is a beautiful card. I wish I got the SCR, but I love this SP so much. It's something for Naru to just be over supported, but the Nimbus and Steel are bad. Yeah. Naru is Nuba is just like it's very weird because like I also like get very frustrated with Naru. Speaking of Nuba. One day I'll play this deck, Copia. Oh yeah, also a big reason I also love Nuba. I know he's not good, but I think he's still one of like the coolest cards in this entire clan. His SP Daihozans are like absolutely gorgeous. Dang, I actually might be able to do that follow-up stream on this pretty soon. I know some people are also like, oh, we should hit Fenrir because of Worlds. I disagree with that statement. Also, I apologize for poking the microphone, chat. They also could be together. It's essentially discard 2 with it, right? So the problem is that Daihozan only really works if he's on Vanguard Circle. When you start on top of him, you just lose all the Vanguard skills. But it's in effect like a similar kind of deal. It's like basically, like Rene basically just makes him like discard 2 more or less. I think I have some Angel Feather stuff in the pile to my side as well. Speaking of Nubatama stuff, I just found like a bunch of my other Nuba stuff. I do have some Angel Feather stuff in here. Okay, cool. Oh, also Fenrir Modern Worlds and cheating on screen as online, so there's that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there were like multiple instances of the Fenrir player cheating on Worlds, so it's very hard. Which, granted, I do kind of think that maybe Melissa should go, just because like it's an unfun card, and we know that Bushiroad is not afraid to ban cards because they are unfun seizing, but like it's not completely out of the question. Also, I guess while I'm thinking about it, just because it crossed my mind again, how do we feel about V probably ending like officially after this season? Which I think is just kind of funny, considering they are no longer. If Zane came back, would Chaos even be relevant? It was pretty relevant most of last season. Like a bunch of people last season were on Chaos. Like if you were to look at like the big four from last season, it was Naru, Ghidorah, Chaos, and then Willista. Which again, we've removed Willista at this point, but I do think it would be, or I don't know. It's really hard to like just to balance Chaos, right? Because like it's not fun. Wasn't necessarily because of Naru. Chaos doesn't actually have that great of a Naru matchup, as weird as that sounds. Speaking of Fenrir, there's the discussion of Kenner's new favorite toy, Reverence Rush. Reverence, yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like Reverence Rush is like broken yet, but I could see it getting to that point. Alright, I had a bunch of other stuff that needed to go in here too. I do not have sleeves for all of this. I guess I'm just gonna have to do some of this off stream. Okay. I'll have to dig up sleeves later, but I will make notes in the meantime. Issue with references just creates really unfun games. Yeah, that is kind of true. Like, I'm not like against it, I'm just not for a reference ban. Like, if you told me like tomorrow Reference Rush was getting banned, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Even though I just bought 3, but I'm like, you know what, that's like 60 cents, whatever. Like, it could happen and I would totally believe you. Yeah, you really... Hippo saying hello, Har. You really am having a speed issue, but also, like, Reference Rush, I mean, yeah, game to a whole lot of times. It does, yeah. Bahar, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. We've just been talking card games and such. We actually had a little bit of like a discussion involving Yu-Gi-Oh! A moment ago. And it was actually me praising Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of. It was backhanded praise, but it was praise. Well, there we go. Now the music's picking up a little bit. So I have... God, it... Reference Rush in OTT loop is crazy. Yeah. Equally, I don't mind it in OTT loop, considering, like, well, not like loop. I'm never a loop supporter, but also the show, I guess, when I have that, I need to put in here at some point. But, like, I don't know. OTT is also kind of like one of those claims where it's like, we always have to be mindful of it, considering it could just be, like, potentially really broken. So I'll leave that page blank. That slot thing for the promo whenever we get it for Angel Feather. Riot effort. That's fine. This is gonna be a little stuff, but I will have to look at it. Also, I don't even play this claim, but I have this gorgeous SP starter. At least OTT can only attack 3 times. Unless they play Stand OTT, which I have lost to that. I remember during like Q4 format and Premium. Oh god, I actually am getting a headache remembering this story. So I know, like, obviously we don't have a lot of, like, or any Chicago players in here, but there's one player that's, like, really known in the Chicago area for being loud. Like, he has caused his opponents headaches loud just by talking. Like, he's almost been kicked out of his locals for being just loud for context. Right? Like, he's not like he's screaming, but he just talks. No shit, Loud Mike. Wait. Are you a Chicago player? Because I think that might have actually been like what... Like, I don't know the dude super well, but like... That name, like, I think it might be Loud Mike. like, that sounds extremely familiar to me. It might actually be Loud Mike. Gear Chronicle Loud Mike. I only remember him playing OTT. But assuming like you're talking about the Loud Mike that goes to Underground. Or at least did go to Underground. I think we are talking about the same person, in which case, oh my god, that is hilarious. I don't forget, was it Triggers in G-Zone? Yeah, it was Triggers in G-Zone. Okay. But regardless, like, he has caused his opponents, like, headaches multiple times, myself included. And I remember this last BCS... we might be talking about the same person. I haven't spoken to the dude in like God knows how long. But regardless, like to go back to the story, during Q4 format, like I was playing against this guy, right? And like he's like on Ichi Tom because you know Ichi Tom at the time was like, wait, you can make it so the opponent just can't guard, basically. Because yeah, like, Elementary things, it's like there was like no way to say like no zeros, no PGs. No heal guards, like there was just no way to guard. And he like swung sides first with his toms, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, I live. He's stupid. He flips double stand trigger and a crit, and I'm like, oh, I just died. I was so upset. I was genuinely so upset. And then like afterwards, like some people actually started experimenting with like stand OTT, and I was like, okay, I feel a little less bad, and it wasn't just him trying to cook. If you know Loud Mike, I think we are potentially talking about the same person. I just don't know what he plays all the time because I don't talk to him a whole lot, or like ever realistically. I don't go to Underground that often. That is not my local. That is a couple hours away from me, unfortunately. But whenever I do go, I have a good time. God, I still need a bunch of stuff for Angel Feather. That's for the Crit Sentinel. I need to get stand triggers for Angel Feather because there's like so many good ones. I actually don't even own a Ref Ross, fun fact. Like what is it like I lost like regional invites to? I'm trying to be like the really like big examples because I know that was one of them. I've lost regional invites to Narukami a couple times. I remember the most painful one was during the last year's season where I was playing against Narukami with Victor and I pushed him to 5 on like a busted turn. I was like, I have a decent enough hand size, I'll live. He rides Vowing Reverse, and my hand could not live a Vowing Reverse turn. I was incredibly upset. Slop things in here. I get the Surgery Angels to get the card. The insurance stuff with yesterday. Yeah, that's one of the stands I need. Surgery Angel is such a good card. I know WCC Albert is like super anti-crit in this deck, at least when he played it, because he grinded Angel Feather for like a very long time. Like he was a big Angel Feather Andy. And he was like also just like, oh, I want to play like no CL loop, and like as soon as no CL loop got hit, he was like, man, I don't want to play this deck anymore. And then at least there's a couple pages. All right, we actually did this in less than I expected. I mean, I still have to like get stuff for both Golds and Angel Feather, so it's not gonna stay this empty. But hot damn, it actually worked out. Like, Genesis is in here. Golds, Angel Feather, OTT. I probably will need one more yellow binder as I get more stuff for some of these later. I'm not using against the crit build now that ladder exists. You can get the 2 G3s and Soul easier. True. Oh, Hollow Knight paused. But alright, that indirectly, I guess,
We did more than I thought we were gonna get in here tonight. Also, oh my god, this binder is fat. This binder is so fat, but I guess with 4 clans in here, it makes sense. Also, you know what? We were talking about prize cards earlier. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you guys something cool. I've showed this on stream before, but... where is it? No, there it is. And I unplugged my headphones. Hold on. Everything is coming apart. I guess this shows I am just getting tired at this point. Yeah. Cribble, no big deal, but it's just not instantly OP. Can randomly steal games, but also listen to Elementary, so there's that. Might as well just play 15 Drive Valk at that point. Yeah, I can agree with that. But I guess talking about prize cards earlier, probably one of the coolest, I guess, like cards in my entire position. Like, it's not a Vanguard card, but this is, again, one of like the best things I own in my entire collection. This bad boy. I will bring him closer because he is beautiful. So for people who don't know what this is Chimera, the Master of Beasts. And this is a Yu-Gi-Oh! World prize card. For people who don't know how these worked, they would originally give out like 2 ultra rares for 1 year. So like first and second got an ultra. And then the subsequent year, they would give out super rare versions of the card to all the participants. And there's like 32 of them in the world. And this is one of those 32 supers. It's one of the cheaper prize cards, technically. Like, I have seen this, like, very much, like, range in price. I've seen it go anywhere from, like, a couple hundred to, like, almost 2K. Because, again, these, like, the supers are significantly more available compared to the ultras, but, like, this is one of the coolest cards I also own. Yeah, I love this card. This is probably like one of my holy grails in my entire TCG collection. I'm probably not going to get to sorting anymore at this point because I technically got done what I wanted to, and like I do have something I want to take care of, but I do want to show you guys. I think is it this binder? Hold on. If it's not this binder, then I'm going to grab one more and I'll show you a couple like highlights that we talked about. Okay, but this is some of the stuff in it. Yeah, okay. So remember when I told you guys about my like very silly Bermuda player friend? This one I did pull, like, this is actually just a hard pull to not get this off him, but everything else that I'm about to show you in terms of high rarity Bermuda. I think this is the last bit. Yeah, this is the last bit, at least, out of Bermuda stuff. I got all of this for him at prices I shouldn't have gotten any of this from. Like, none of this should have been a... Well, again, minus this, because I actually did pull this, but like the rest of the stuff was like, I should not own it. I really should not own it. Like, he gave me the Aurora Star Coral. He sold me, like, the Sandy for, like, 20. I don't even remember what he sold me the Anjas for, but I remember just, like, I stared at him and was like, you're not real with this price. And he's like, I am real with this price. And I was just like, did he just mentally shut down or something? Like, cause, like, these are ridiculous, like, cards. Like, they're gorgeous and I love them, but, like, I should not have obtained them for the prices I did. It was absolutely insane. But they are some of like my favorite cards. I love SP Bermuda stuff, but I am not crazy enough to like spend all the money that would be required to like bling this deck out. I also was an Anj player back in the day. I absolutely loved Anj. And then let me check the last binder, see if there's anything else cool I can show you guys real quick. Give me one more second. If not, we just call it stream. The answer currently is looking negative now that I remember what this binder is. Like, I might have like a couple cool cards to show you guys, and like nothing like real substantial. Oh my god, I forgot this binder was in this state. Which that'll be for a future sorting stream, I guess. Yeah, looks like I just have like a couple things I can pull out to show you guys and then drag the binder all the way. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Hold on. I'm on my way back, chat. So my 4 SP, one who surpasses the Storm Thavises. I absolutely adore these things. I think these are the original foilings, if I remember right. Like, webcam's not really showing it, but... Hold on, let me see if I can... that shows a little bit. But I feel like these Thavises are gorgeous, and then of course, the SP Chrono Drain. I used to grind Time Leap so hard back in the day, and I was so happy when I actually like finally got to own my SP. Maybe I'll show you guys like my SP Royal stuff at some point, but I do think that's probably gonna call it for the night. I am getting a little EP, and I've been at this for longer than I anticipated, honestly. Like 2.5 hours. I'm actually surprised I went this long. Usually these streams are like super short. Like, I'm not used to actually going this long or having like people to chat with about this kind of thing. But I do appreciate you guys being here tonight. This is fun. You guys have been great. I'll go ahead. You know, yeah, I'm probably gonna end stream. I also don't have anybody streaming. Is there anybody in the category? Am I? Oh, Fuzzy is streaming. You know, let's make a friend. I didn't realize that Fuzzy Paradox. Wasn't the last one long too? It probably was realistic. You know, let's find out how long the last one was. Let me head to the VODs channel real quick, like. The last one was... Wow, it was 3 hours. We're actually short. We're actually short in the last one, jeez. That's crazy. Okay. Well, I do think I'm probably gonna go ahead and call it for tonight. Yeah, this has been fun. We got more done than I realistically expected. I might just do this next week, honestly, considering like some of the space is freeing up in parts, so I now have like the space to actually keep organizing this stuff. Plus, I have like a better setup for this physically. Because like you guys, the way you guys are seeing this is completely different from the way I'm seeing it like IRL. But this is actually like perfect for the way to do it. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and call it for tonight. So with that. Thank you guys very much for watching tonight's stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you didn't have it already, please hit that follow button. It really helps me out a lot more than you guys know. I want to keep doing little stuff like this, and obviously, like, with you guys just showing up and chatting, we didn't even like get to watch the videos I really wanted to watch tonight, but we had a good discussion all the same, so I'm kind of happy that we did. So this is fun. If you really like what you saw, want to financially support me in the stream, all the goodies that happen on here, including the future Vanguard or TCG content in general that I mentioned tonight, please consider subbing, gifting a sub, donating, all that other boring stuff. I understand money is tight for a lot of people, so please don't spend what you don't have. Focus on your own lives first. If you want to hop in the Discord and catch future streams, there is a link for you that gets you an invite to the channel. And yeah, you can catch all the future stream announcements there. It's a fun time. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And don't forget to follow me on socials and all that. It helps me grow as a small content creator. But we're going to go ahead and raid Fuzzy. Fuzzy, for people who don't know, is like the source of like every like Vanguard tournament. Like if you need like to like find a deck list or something, just that, like, it's from him. So we're going to raid Fuzzy. I don't know the dude, but I follow him on Twitter, so you know what, we're making a friend tonight. Plus, I know that he's relatively new to streaming, so if you guys like what I do, then maybe check him out. But anyways, that's it for me. Thank you all very much. I will catch you guys later. Goodbye, friends.